Hello. Yes, you are.
I forgot who it was when I said it.
What?
No, fucking Elton, isn't it? You've right
Right blue, get the aim, get the aim, get the aim.
I forgot who it was when I sang it.
Tom, what's up? What's up? Well, I mean, we're only live.
So
Come in and be on the show. We're live.
Show, Jans.
But we're live.
What are you talking about?
Elton John.
I've
just been doing my Elton John
impersonation. What
impersonation.
Elton John's
I'm
like
thinking
now.
of going on Stars on Your Eyes. Are you ready? Are you ready for love?
That's how he sings now.
Yeah. While I'm playing the piano like this. Are you ready? Are you ready for love?
Can I ask all the viewers that can obviously hear my voice?
Yeah. Why what? This is what people pay for. They pay for my Elton John.
Hey, fair play.
And wait till I start doing my
Other
Roger
people
Daltrey.
pay £100 to see it.
Shut the door, Tom. Shut the door.
Go on, say it.
Shut the door, Tom.
Say it.
Shut it.
Say it.
You fucking ginger kid.
Oh, he swore. Oh, he done. See, you had a chance to do him, and he done you.
Done yet?
He done you.
I actually have got ginger person. That bitch.
I honestly don't know what's happened here this afternoon. The last 2 hours have been so weird. So weird. So weird.
Apparently, people are saying there's no sound.
Well, that's good.
I mean, I'm glad that.
I mean, I'm glad there's no sound. Oh, they've missed Elton John then. Well, some people can't, so it's on you, that, Ned.
Okay.
Jay Muncie's in at number 1. Says, oh, hi, Toffee TV.
I've got one question for Jay Muncie. Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You could have said, are you ready for lava 5?
Are you ready for lava 5? Yes, I am.
Sorry, Jay, apologies. Anthony says, evening, lads. Gary Waters, howdy.
Oh,
Cal.
how?
Cal says, hello, lads, hope all is well. Do you know what other clubs,
The family in the club.
that Townsend turned down to join us? There was 4 teams.
West Brom,
after them.
Norwich,
These aren't.
Stoke, and
That's not true.
Carlisle.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. No, I know there was 4. Palace was 1, wasn't it? Palace offered them a new 2-year deal. He swerved them. Newcastle wanted them back, apparently. I want you back. Want you back for good.
I want you back.
But I don't know the other 2. I just know they were apparently.
Big hitters like Newcastle.
It'll be West Ham.
and Crystal Palace.
West Ham, Moisey liked them.
I heard.
It's Moyes. No,
I heard they
seriously.
didn't have the facilities.
No, Moyes wanted them, but they didn't have. And that's serious, they didn't have the
Okay.
facilities. Because they're having the mayor, aren't they? He got all the way down the line with Mick talking to Nicky yesterday. Got there.
Would you rather be in their mayor or our mayor?
Army.
Would you?
Yeah,
A bit European football.
Talking to Nicky yesterday, West Ham fan TV, and he was just like, we are a shambles.
I know, but they say that every year. It's the same way we
Normally
say.
they are.
We say it's the same way we say we're a shambles.
I said it, and he was like, nah, I reckon fine ref is going to sort you out. He said, no.
What it is the ref is going to come in and he's going to go, are you ready? Are you ready for good football? Yes, you are.
Nicky was saying it, the order for Everton this year.
You all say that because they're all
we
male.
all say that. You're just a nice lad. Big Vardy, is living the dream. Big Tom is in the Tom
The riddles there.
The riddles there. Riddle me once.
Riddle me this.
Riddle me that. Saying, evening lads, I can't really be angry about Dumfries, to be honest. It's a good start for Tom.
It's a good start.
From his point of view, why would he choose, in his eyes, a random mid-table Premier League team over the Italian champions who can offer Champions League football?
Exactly.
Our only chance was to get it done early and for off you. Absolutely right, mate. The only way you can look at it and be disappointed and just go, oh, you know, it's frustrating and all that. But realistically, I'd choose Inter over Everton every day of the week.
Yeah.
So.
Of course you would.
Den says, watched highlights of the Wimbledon game the other day.
Oh, yeah.
The 3-2 when we stayed up last day.
Yeah.
I was only 2 at the time. And I'm glad I was unaware of it. Must have been a horrible 90.
Do you know what though, right? You know what was weird? I feel I get more stressed at normal games than I did when I was at that game.
Think about it now, though.
Oh,
imagine if it was now with social media.
Now we're just... But that game, I was just like full of optimism. Even when we were 2-0 down, it was just like, it was like,
2-0.
no, at 2-0 I was like, we're gone, but it wasn't like the worst thing in the world ever. It was just like, we're gone, and that's it. And we're like, we're having to pay the piper, and that's it. But now you'd be like, I don't think I could cope all week.
We wouldn't have the facilities for that. I don't think.
Yeah.
It was
Make sure it
proper.
doesn't happen ever again.
Yeah. Oh, that was horrible. That's
But the fans were behind the team and they got the team through.
Told this story before that I was playing, so I didn't go to the game, or thought I was playing, and we were playing Darwin. I think we were supposed to be playing.
Oh yeah.
Was it Darwin or was it Holker? It was one of them. And the coach, you know, they were late. We were out warming up, and the coach was late, and it was like 2:20. We were out doing our warm up. Then we got a thing saying they'll be here at 2:45. The referee said, had the phone call, he'll be here at 2:45. So we'll kick off at 3:15. I was like, yeah, okay. And then at like 2:45, he just come out and went, they can't get the coach started. So I was like, obviously too late to go to Goodison. Went in, got a shower, got changed, and was in the car with 3 cop-mates driving home. And they dropped me off at the Rocket. And when I got out the car, we were 2-0 down at the Rocket. They were buzzing, laughing. And I walked home, and I remember like having tears running down my face walking home, because I was just like, we're gone. And when I got in, there's obviously no phone, none of the stuff you get now. I got in, put the radio on. It was, I got in, and my mum was in. My dad was working at Everton, so my dad was at the match. I got in, and it was, my mum said it's 2-1, half time. I had to listen to the second half on the radio. And there was a fella next door, John, he was all right, but he was a red. And my mum said he's been screaming when they went 2-0 up. So when we equalised, I fucking banged on their fucking wall. And then when it went 3-2, I was fucking booting shit.
Oh God, the F-bombs are getting dropped there.
And I was out in the street and everything. And Barry Horn scored. Because if he wouldn't have said nothing, I wouldn't have done nothing. Do you know what I mean? But so it was a horrible day. Coventry, the two times I haven't been here. The second time, Coventry, I was in Florida. And I was in my mate who works for National. We were in Gainesville and we were driving to Clearwater. And we were in in the morning. And again, if it was like now, I'd have watched it on a stream or something, but there was no stream. So the BBC teletext score. And you clicked on it, it just went to the game and was like, they're the two teams and this is it. We put it on at 10 and made a drink and all that. And then obviously Gareth Farley scored after 7 minutes, I think it was. So we got off at half time, we were winning 1-0. We were driving for ages. And by the time we found the phone, it was well over. And I rang home. And my mum thought it was my brother who was actually being at the match because he was the freaking kit man for a year. So and she was like, I was like, Mum, what happened? And she was like, what are you on about? What happened? And I went, what happened with Everton? Did we stay up? And she was like, you know, they stayed up. I was like, what? I said, it's Barry. So she was telling me and told me Barbie missed a pen at 1-0 and all. I was just like, for fuck's sake. Yeah. My God, come off the phone, like buzzing, but obviously empty because it's buzzing because you've survived relegation. But it was that feeling of, and ironically, the summer before was the you'll be pleasantly surprised because I was in university and I remember like being in, I think we was doing physiology or something, and that was the thing to like that come out like you'll be pleasantly surprised you were getting, and there was like Wim van Hanegem wanted the job and Bobby Robson we were after and all that, and it was all exciting. Who we gonna sign? Cliff Finch and friggin' Peter Johnson, and it ended up with Howard, didn't it? And you know Andy Gray was one, and then we ended up with Howard and having an absolute shite off of the season. So yeah, never do that ever again. Yeah, ever.
Horrendous.
Bobby C says Denzel Dumfries joining the Champions League club instead of Everton is hardly surprising. Correct. Gaz says, hello lads, finally managed to catch a live at 5. Right. Hope you're doing well. So he'll have loved your rendition from Elton John. Big T's in the comments here, Ned. Big T.
What?
Big T's in the comments. You know, Kev Rex. Rexy, yeah. What are your thoughts on Kenny Tetty? Do you think he could do a job for us? Temporary fix until we spend again, just a thought. Well, we should have got him last year when he was 1.7 million. And me and the Piv done the show on him. Because he's a decent right back, quick, and he's not bad at all. Gone for Fulham, got relegated, but how much a day he wants?
Yeah. Depends on his wages, I imagine. Did they sign him on Premier League wages, or did they have clauses and stuff?
Give them John Joe.
And a Wobie.
And we'll have Anguissa and Kenny Tetty.
That's the first one. That's the first.
You can have Andre Gomez, Iwobi, and John Joe Kenny. We'll do a 3 for 2. Bobby Sheesh says, if other clubs don't have the funds to buy our players outright this window, is it time to consider a season-long loan? Plus an obligation to buy at a pre-agreed price next summer. Hopefully close to the player's amortised value, maybe agree a percentage of future. Yeah, but again, you need that inquiry as well, don't you? I think them inquiries may come the last few days.
Yeah.
Right now, clubs are still probably open. Someone comes in for their players with cash. So we've said before, if Moyes Keane's to go on loan, then it's got to be with an obligation to buy for 30 million next summer. And if Everton do that obligation to buy before June 30th, it can go in this year, which means it can help the FFP. It's the same as getting it now, essentially. Yeah. You can spend against that. But Gaz says has Ped had too much sugar in his brew. Full Elton at the start.
A bit Elton, that's all.
Astro says, afternoon, gents. Do either of you guys have any match day traditions or superstitions you'll be restarting on Saturday? No, just go on the match.
I don't actually.
Essentially. No, I don't either. What?
No. I don't know. I've never had any traditions, to be honest.
I did when I was like playing footy. I had like some traditions and stuff. I did when we won the FA Cup. Told you this. Like I had a pair of Bills that way. I wore them for the third round against Derby or something. And then for Bristol City, I was playing, and I'd forgot my slips, but I had these Bills on, the same ones. And I was playing, and I got like a stud down the inside of my thigh, but it ripped me Bills as well, the tackle. But it was the day we beat Bristol City, so I'd wore them Derby and I'd wore them for Bristol City. So I wore them for Norwich in the 5th round, and so they had a hole in. Wore them for Newcastle because we'd wore them. And then by the time I was driving down to Wembley, my bollocks were hanging out, but I wore them because they'd been the lucky Bills. And really, I probably should have just
kept all them for the next 27 years.
Just mended them. Should have been Trigger's brush.
Trigger's Bills.
Yeah. Just mended them and we'd have never lost the trophy. So
I got a new pair of Primark Bills and now I'm drowning in goals.
That's not bad for you. Not bad.
Yeah.
But no, superstitions now, don't have any.
No.
Did you have any playing? Was there anything you did playing? Like I'd always put my shorts on last, and I'd always like to be the last one out.
No.
Did you have nothing?
No. None.
No. To be honest, mate, the best way to be. Because what happens? Well, that's the thing. It gets in your head then. All it does is you get in your own head and go, did I put that thing? Did I wear them last time? Did I put those on? Did I put my boots on the same way as last time? Or whatever, you know what I mean? Not that I put my boots on the wrong feet.
You were like that when we did the watch-along though. You said, you got to sit here.
Yeah, I did.
You wouldn't let me sit over there.
But
I had to sit next to him and he kept keffing.
It's not true.
That's not true. Not true. Bobby C says, which do you dislike more, hot and humid weather or cold and icy weather? For me, although hot and humid might be uncomfortable, I hate cold and icy, especially when it's treacherous underfoot.
Hot, because there's nothing you can do about hot weather.
You can warm yourself up if
you can't. You can't. There's nothing you can do about cold. If it's cold, you can always get warm.
I'd rather have hot and humid.
If you're too hot, there's nothing you can do. Unless you stay inside and you've got air conditioning.
I'm with Ped.
Kel surprise. I mean, you've tried to dress like him today, so
especially when you've got like thick skin like me.
Paul Callow says, I'm absolutely made up to be going to Goodison Park on Saturday with my dad. Been waiting a long time to become season ticket holders and are lucky enough to be in that elite group now.
Very elite.
Even though there has been ticket issues at the club this week, the ticket office staff I've spoken to have been really helpful under difficult and stressful circumstances. I think the one thing you've got to remember, and I've been a ticket office member of staff, that sometimes things are not in their control. They're really not. So the club will always get the blame because it's the club that's doing the event. But things where we've had it loads of seasons when I was there, even things like season ticket books not turning up. You know, printers, we're bringing them, and you come. like half the order had come, or oh no, we can't get them now till next week, and you're trying to send them out, or there'd be all sorts, you know, all sorts of stuff, and I think you do have to remember that, and there is some good people who will be working hard in that ticket office, and stuff that's gone on won't be they're doing, and they'll just be trying to do the best, and it'll be stressful for them, because the thing what you want to do is you just want your job to go as smoothly as possible, don't you? It's not like they get up and go, I'm going to go in today, make sure people don't get their season tickets, because all that does is bring irate people, which you don't want. You want to go in, your job to A, B, C, and go home, don't you? You don't want to be thinking, oh my God. But
and once it's sorted, it should be sorted. Fingers crossed.
I mean, we tested it today, and it seemed dead easy and dead quick, and it worked. So I would hope that is the case on Saturday. I don't see why it wouldn't once it's working.
I suppose the only thing might be like overload,
volume,
maybe,
but I don't know.
But I suppose it's like anything else. The technology you're using is NFC, the same as when you go to shop and you buy something with contactless.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, in a shop, phone after phone or card after card are using it, and they manage, and I suppose for Everton it's just getting it right. It's getting everything calibrated, getting all those tickets calibrated. Because don't forget, it's not like when you go and buy something, there'll be loads of cards and they're all registered because they have to read the information, and it's just about making sure that all that information's in the system. And I think that's probably what's been holding it up. And you know, they said to us there's been a couple of problems with a few different turnstiles, but it's just getting all that information processed.
And they had people there, didn't they?
Yeah,
there's someone there working on one turnstile. They had lead Laughing was there, and he was sorting stuff out, and being just the way the data had been processed that caused an issue, but that was sorted now. So, you know, Paul says just spent most of today at Everton sorting out my digital ticket. All sorted now, though. Massive thanks to Mo at Everton for sorting it out. However, if today's anything to go by, Saturday it'll be absolute chaos. See, I don't know. I don't think it will. I think they're aware, and well, I'm hoping it won't be. I'm hoping it won't be. They're aware of it. They were testing it today. We've had to go. There was other people. They're testing it. They'll be doing the same tomorrow. Saturday will be, like you just said, it may, an overload thing. But then this technology is
the technology's fine. It's just putting it into action. And hopefully,
All I would say is just get there early. Like if you get there at 2:30, get there at like 2:15. If you get there normally at 2:00, get there at 2:45.
Just time you getting there?
I'll have to get there early. I'm can't park in my normal place this week, so no, because the COVID protocols.
No.
So I won't be. So I don't even know where to park. So I'll have to get there early, and I'm devastated about it already. It's Thursday, and I'm already depressed about the fact I'm going to have to get there so early and look for the car park space. I don't even know where would the park. Where would the park?
The petrol station by what was the elm tree?
That down by the snooker play, the taxi club.
No, it's by Spellow. If you go down Spellow Lane, you keep going over the County Road. There's a petrol station on the right hand side.
Oh, you need a permit.
You can park within. It's like a $5 or something.
Oh, it's that all, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Not too bad.
Okay. Bobby C says, apart from Baz and Orange, which other foods? Is there any foods you won't eat, and why?
I can't eat tomatoes.
Why?
Because I just can't. The texture and everything's horrible on them.
Okay.
But I can eat. But I like tomato sauce and pizzas and everything else. It's just that particular texture of food.
Couldn't you eat like the plum tomatoes, or they're only little? No. Okay.
It's just that particular texture of food I just don't like.
Have you had anything where it's made you sick and you can't face it the same way, in the way I am with Orange Club?
No, I remember having meatball marinella from Subway, and it made me sick, and for a long time I couldn't eat it, and then I just decided one day to get it, and it was fine. It was just that particular one.
No, essentially.
No. Things like corned beef hash and all that, I just couldn't ever eat. Don't eat anything you got in ration food in the war. Yeah.
Ned, anything you can't eat?
Probably no.
No?
If you gave me something and I didn't like it, I'd eat it anyway.
Okay. So have you not had anything that's made you sick and you're like, I literally can't even it makes me feel sick thinking about it.
Like the dodgy takeaway sometimes. A dodgy takeaway, but it's like not the food.
Would you ever go back to that takeaway then?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's like the
Even if it was garlic
food's
bread.
or, like if it's like made and you can tell it's like it's like they rub this on their armpits, and I wouldn't have it again. There's one I used to have from it was on Duke Street in town.
Right.
And then
In
after
St Helens.
a couple of times I've had it. There was a picture going on Facebook and there was a bloke clipping his toenails on the counter.
Right, Sean Rooney says, hey lads, hope you're doing well. Do you know the reason Gomez, Keane and James weren't in the training video? Just injured, isolating, or am I reading too much into it?
Are you particularly bothered?
Gomez is injured. James has been doing gym work, apparently. And Keane is doing other stuff. He's isolating, isn't he?
COVID.
He's isolating, so yeah, but it's other people are in the training video, and that's the most important thing, isn't it?
I know. I'm not particularly worried about those three at the moment.
No. I'd like to see James.
I'd like to see James, yeah, of course I would, but I'm not like
No, I'm not
worried just because it's the first game and you know.
At least Dumfries has gone to Italy and won't play against us in the Prem. It's just big T.
Fair enough.
Good way to look at it. Bobby C says, if you could afford to own and drive any car, current or vintage, what would you choose?
Any car.
Any car, yeah.
Oof.
If like money was no object to you, or even maybe not like so it's like Ferrari or whatever. But if you could just
the Lamborghini in Dark Knight, the one Bruce Wayne drives, just
nice.
Utterly incredible car. Yeah.
I'd have an R8. I like them.
Out of any car, you'd have an Audi.
Yeah, love
Out of
Audis.
any car.
Yeah, but I'm not. The thing about it is, right, I'm not a big car thingy.
No, I know, but
So it's like I do like the R8s. I think they're lovely.
okay, that's fair enough.
But I'm not a big, like some people love the cars, don't they? And it's like I like a nice car, but nothing. Yeah.
Let's go all in.
Bugatti,
Go all in. Yeah,
1.3 mil.
I'm
1.8.
I don't even
Mikhail's
think they
Bugatti.
look. I don't even think they look nice. But you know, they still don't.
Valdi is saying, did any of you get one of those limited warm-up tops?
No.
They sold like hotcakes, didn't they?
No.
Bit silly not doing kid sizes when the message was inclusivity.
No, I did. No, bit daft really. Bit daft. Doing a very short run. Really daft.
Maybe they'll do another one because they've gone so well.
Maybe.
Mike says, what are your thoughts about playing for a foul, simulating dives for a penalty? Teams at the top are rarely penalised for these and can win games because of it. Saying goes for getting in the ref's face when they're indecisive. Sure, we don't like it and people want it stamped out of football, but we shouldn't let other teams do this to us and prevent us getting
Well, it's actually, the rule's actually been changed, hasn't it? Saying that if you go down in the box, doesn't mean it's a penalty now. Because, you know, yeah, it's not the old, well, you know.
There was contact.
There was contact, that's gone. That's gone, that rule's gone. Well, I mean, let's see how they enforce it. But
apparently it's gone.
The rule is actually now, you know, it's got to be a foul, not just contact. And the same as if you don't go down and you are fouled, they reckon there'll be more penalties given. You
can still get a penalty.
So, well, you should all have always been in to get a penalty, shouldn't you? So hopefully,
encourage
they were
non-diving.
they're trying to encourage people to stay on their feet, and they'll get a penalty out of it. But you know, we'll see.
Other teams dive and get pens near the top. I don't think Everton could just start diving and they get pens. We
get in the
wouldn't
box
get it.
first.
But definitely, getting in the ref's face. Absolutely, we should. Absolutely, we should march them all over the pitch. Disrespect things a load of bollocks. Make them feel uncomfortable because they're embarrassing at the job. Yeah, they're terrible.
No.
I hate them already. We haven't even kicked off yet and I hate them already. Kevin Friend is the ref on Saturday.
No friend of mine.
I can't wait to just give him a verbal volley. Cheat, that fella. Bobby C says, is Ned the self-confessed, unambitious musical performer simply content with what he does, essentially a hobby? Or does he not want the hassle of going full time in a very competitive music business.
You have to be good, don't you, to do that?
You've got to be driven, and I'm not convinced
No.
Ned's driven enough.
No.
And about music,
No.
I don't really enjoy it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I do it on the weekend so I can earn money.
Basically just a gigolo.
And then
Do you
when I
not?
st-
Do you
when I
not? Do you really not enjoy it? No. No.
It's
Okay.
it's me job though, innit? I'd much rather get the money and get on the weekend, like in a week here,
Yeah.
and
Than-
then have the
than
weekend
actually sing.
spend with my missus.
Yeah. Interesting. Richard Folk says, evening lads, looks like Dumfries wants a Champions League. If we want players that much, we should have deals in place before the season ends. Any circular trust transfers? If not, just make one up. So you're in the know.
Yeah, we're signing.
There's no point making stories up. There's enough people on Twitter doing that, isn't there? We'll tell you if anything's going on. And at the moment, nothing has progressed anywhere in terms of where we could say, oh, what's the space? It could change it, and it's football. You know, Raiola's working to try and get Keane out. George Mendes is working to try and get Hammers out. Both of those things could change like that, and Everton might be able to go, that's getting done now. Sound, we can now move for X, Y, or Z. But right now, as frustrating as it is, it's quiet, isn't it? But I would hope that Everton are ready to go the minute they can. If they can't, if they're not, or they haven't got a clue, then I think Toffee needs sacking. Personally, like. Degsy says, hi guys, and hello Gary.
Hello, Dex.
Oh well, as I'm an Apple user, my season ticket downloaded fine, but poor old Android got messed up. Just received another email for Android users, so I hope all those can now have some peace of mind. Now, in my eyes, apologies. Everton have hit the miracle 3. Wrong manager, no transfers, and poor old fans left hanging till the last minute. Like Ped said yesterday, our club is just a mishmash of management, with Bramley Murdoch going along nicely. Got rid of the whiners in the English heritage and great communication from start to finish. Different people running different parts of it.
That's it, isn't it? And never shall mix. Sadly. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. It's bollocks. Absolute bollocks.
It's sad, isn't it? Bobby C says, are you scrant shaming Cam so that he gets cancelled by Deliveroo?
Yeah.
Does he want his meals to be no longer referred to by traditional names like dinner, tea, snack, etc., but by quantity neutral terms like holistic inter-food collective? Possibly.
Yeah, that's it.
Non-binary food combination, maybe. Scran. Keith says, saw the overlap show, Baz. That Man United fan who's on the kick-off when I've watched. Adam McCullough. It's just annoying, or am I reading him wrong? He seems to be talking double standards and bollocks regarding Pogba, whose agent wants him to move every other month, and Kane, but I could be wrong. What do you reckon? Also, when is part 2 and 3 out? I think there's 2 parts. Well, I don't know if they said there's 3 parts. I don't know. Part 2 should be out. It's for the season kicking off, so I imagine part 2 will be out tomorrow. And yes, I feature in part 2. Adam McCullough's fine. Nice lad. Nice lad. I think what he was saying about, I think the whole Harry Kane thing was because Gary Neville had done an interview with Harry Kane.
End of the season.
Before, it wasn't the end of the season, was it?
It was recorded before it came out.
It was out there, but everything he said was out before the season had finished. And Gary Neville was saying, Harry Kane, you know, he's good as gold, he's great pro, he's this. And Roy Keane was like, well, what, he just turns up and actually does his job. I think what Adam McCullough was saying was, would you be saying the same if you interviewed Paul Pogba, who plays for your club and is doing? I don't think Gary Neville understood what Adam McCullough was getting at. He was talking about the thing and he was saying, I'm telling you now, Pogba it'll be all about Pogba for the last 4. And he was going, no, but why is Harry Kane getting like, oh, Harry's done great. That's what he said, Saint Harry. But Paul Pogba's this. And I think that's what he was kind of saying. You should be saying the same about Paul Pogba as what you're saying about Harry Kane. Or the way you're having a go at Pogba, you should be having a go at Harry Kane. Yeah. I think he was talking about double standards. But I've always found Adam McCullough to be a nice lad. And, you know, he's all right, isn't he? Good lad. Mark Zobel says, Buenas tardes and good evening. Unite Emery joke intended. Just wanted to send some last minute reminders to the patron leagues for the Fantasy Premier League and Super Brute Prediction League. Free to join, easy to play, but difficult to win. Mark wins it. Mark is incredible. I'll post the links to join in the comments here, and then I'll get Ned or Ped to reshare the links on Patreon after the show. Let's see if anyone can dethrone me as the 3-time Super Brute champion.
Make sure you all download the Ultimate Fan app. There's going to be a little explainer. Sure, well, we'll stick the little explainer on Patreon. It's actually in the. It's actually going to be within the match preview, but you've already got the match preview without the explainer. Basically, it's like fantasy football meets one of those ultimate football things. You get a pack of players. The players come out, and you stick them in your team. And every week you'll get a new pack, so you can mix and match, and you'll build up every week. But also, there's 2 pay options. One is silver and one is gold. And obviously, if you have silver, you'll get better players than the free pack, and if you get gold, you'll have better players than the silver and the free pack.
But you can play it for free.
But you can
play it for free. Do that anyway.
But you can play for free. But obviously, if you're paying, you're going to get better players. It's like any kind of game nowadays, or you know the microtransactions.
Basically, FIFA Ultimate Team.
Like FIFA Ultimate Team meets fantasy football.
Yeah.
But play it for free. Download, pay for free, sign up. Just play, get it for free, and then you've signed up on our behalf, and that's all we really care about. If you want to pay. You don't. There's some things you get a crate of lager or a crate of beer if you go gold in August, and you get a £10 gift voucher or something. But honestly, do what you want. Get it for free and just play it. That's all we're gonna do. Yeah. That's all we ask is just get the app and play it every week.
I reckon we're gonna have the gold, me and you, because we're gonna play off against each other.
And we're getting it for free
for the prize.
But
we're not getting it for free. We have to pay for it. You are paying for it. You are.
I'm not paying for it.
You are.
No.
Bobby C says, what would you least like to do? Free fall parachute jump from a very high altitude, climb Mount Everest without breathing apparatus,
no chance.
Or scuba dive in a flooded underground cave and potholes.
No, I'd rather jump out of a plane, I think, because
with a parachute.
So I watched the film Everest.
Yeah.
And do you know what? This is dead funny because I was only thinking about this yesterday, and I'll tell you why. Have you seen the film Everest? No. So it's about an expedition.
But I've seen loads of real stuff about the Sherpas and all that.
So about an expedition that went up.
Yeah.
In the 90s, mid-90s. And the film's got loads of their famous people in, and they're all little roles and bigger roles. And basically, I think it was the most people who'd ever died on the mountain in one time. And it was all just down to a mix of human error, the weather more than anything, and other things. But loads of people died. There was a guy actually with them who was a writer for one of the American newspapers, and he put it in a book because he was actually there. He was a guy, an American guy, who basically collapsed on the way down.
Yeah, they lost
He lost his nose, he lost his fingers, but they all thought he was dead because you get left. If you die on there, you get left.
You have to leave, you know.
And the main guy, basically, who was the main guy, he only died because this fella wanted to go up, and they'd already missed the window, and this fella was like, I'll never get a chance to go up again. So he took him up, and the weather just turned like that, and you're above the weather. It was horrendous. And he ended up dying, but he was on the phone to his missus at the top.
Like, I'm gonna die.
It's basically like, I'm just gonna stay here. My feet are frozen. There's nothing I can do. And I think they got his body. I think they went up, and the IMAX team went up to film in IMAX. One of the things for selling IMAX, and they found them and they brought them back. But normally, what they do is they just get their pack and put the pack on top of them, represents, and then once the snow and everything, they're buried. But I was only thinking about it yesterday because
Crazy, isn't it?
there's a guy on Twitter, James, who was a big Everton,
Yeah.
and he died like 2 years ago. He went up and he was all dead excited. And he was tweeting about it. Apparently he slipped, and once he slipped, that was the end of him. And his body's up there. Obviously didn't bring it down. So I was only thinking about it yesterday, actually, how sad it is. So I wouldn't do Everest. I've tried scuba diving, and I just couldn't get comfortable with the breathing apparatus in my mouth. I just couldn't.
No.
I just couldn't do it. It was just like I didn't trust the process, and you have to trust the process. Funny enough, I remember I went to Discovery Cove in 2007, swam with dolphins, but there's like a lagoon where you can swim and there's all stingrays and everything, but it's like, I don't know how they do it, but it's like, it must be the salt in there, and you can only go so far down because of the buoyancy of the salt. You just can't get deep enough.
With that.
But you've got a
or a snorkel.
Snorkel.
Oh yeah.
And at first I was the same. I was like, you go, and then you go, and then once I started to trust the process,
You have to slow your breathing down with the snorkel.
You'd have to just trust it. And I just did it in a pool, and I just couldn't do it. It was like, it's like your body thinks you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's that thing of like when you drown, when you hold your breath underwater, your body will only allow you to do that, and it has to take a breath, and that's when you drown. Like, because you take a breath, and you take a breath of water, and you're done.
You're gone then, yeah.
So I couldn't do that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So jumping out of a plane, I don't know how comfortable I'd be doing that, but I think out the three. I don't know.
I would have out the 3. That's what I'd have to do. I couldn't do the snorkel. I'm all right at snorkeling. I've done snorkeling in Typhoon Lagoon when you had the sharks and the stingrays, and you just like swim across and the sharks would be around you and all that. Obviously they weren't the ones that were going to kill you, but they were sharks. But it is that thing of it's just like, that's how slow you breathe. That's to be, because at first you're going and the water's cold, you're panicking. Or if you go too low in the water, gets in your bottle goes, and you have to just really calm. And when you do, it's eerie.
Yeah, because your brain,
quiet.
we breathe every day and we don't even think about it. Because if we did think about it, it'd be mad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do it.
You wouldn't be able to do it. You don't even think when you're breathing. But the minute you are asked to use breathing apparatus, you have to trust the process. And if you don't trust it, you're done.
Yeah. And there's too many things where people have got the bends trying to come back up too quick because they're panicking.
I don't know,
using the oxygen. Nah, not for me.
No, I don't think, like, I don't know. It's funny, Everest, because I've seen, when you watch stuff about when people go up there, it doesn't seem particularly that hard to know. What I mean by that is to actually like, you don't have to like climb anything as such. You don't have to. It's
all like ladder stuff.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It seems. Oh, what's going on there, Ned? Nice one, mate. It all feels very gradual, and there are the ladders and all that. That looks mad.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Whereas there's K2 next to it, which is harder to climb, but it's smaller. And I know, like, it's getting really bad at Everest now because it's become a tourist thing, and people are leaving all the rubbish up there, and it's getting horrendous. And that's the thing with this film. This is when the tourist thing started taking off, and the base camp was just chocker, and going up there was chocker. And there's like, now there's queues. People wait for ages, and that's what's killing people. But no, the idea of like climbing them,
you've got to go. You go up to base camp, and you're after acclimatise there, and then you come down, then you go up again, then you go to the next one and you stay there, then you come back down, then you go up and you go to the next one. And a lot of people die on the last bit, which is like, they call it something, I can never remember what it's called, some kind of part, like whatever it is, it's that last bit. And what happens is people are so excited, they take too much oxygen. But Brian Blessed climbed it without oxygen, which is mad.
People have climbed it.
And the Sherpas do. The Sherpas they've acclimatised.
They are naturally acclimatised, but
crazy.
Nothing like that's ever. I mean, I think you have to be a certain kind of person to do that. But there's actually nothing out there, nothing in nature where people go, well, why do you want to climb Everest? And they go, because it's there. There's nothing out there that I'd like, that I would want to do. I don't think so. You know, I don't think I've got the facilities for it. But there's nothing out there where I'd go. That has
That's
to.
on
The
my
only one
bucket list.
thing that I want from nature is I want to see the Northern Lights, and I want to
that'd
see
be
them
amazing.
properly.
Yeah.
Like, not bits of them in Scotland. Like, properly go to Norway or Iceland and see them properly. That's the only thing I want. Sorry, there's two things. The other thing I want to see is like the Milky Way properly. And I know you can never see the Milky Way like you see it on the pictures because that's long exposure.
Yeah.
Those pictures are taken over hours, so that's a long exposure. So you get to see that big like rainbow effect.
Yeah,
You'll never see that. But I would love to see. When I went to Wales,
You saw her boss pit here.
Abersoch, because we were outside Abersoch. I remember going up and it's that thing of like you can't quite tell if it is the Milky Way. You just think you don't know if your eyes are playing tricks with you because it's so dark and that thing where it's dark and you see a light and then you can't see nothing but lights.
Yeah.
So but I would love to go somewhere where I can fully experience some part of it because that used to drive me mental. That going, how can we see the Milky Way if we're in the Milky Way? And I used to be like, how does that work? But they're the only two things in nature that I would really love.
I'd like to see the Northern Lights.
Yeah, I would love to see the Northern Lights. There's a fella on Twitter, who takes pictures of the Southern Lights in New Zealand, Paul. Oh my
Paul
God.
Lecomte, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he
They're
has some incredible pictures.
Unbelievable. Because of where he lives and because he lives in New Zealand, when you see them with those mountains and you think Lord of the Rings here. He has pictures of mountains or the bay. I know, oh my
Yeah, there's
God.
pictures are incredible.
I said to him, do a bleeding calendar. I think he did last year, but oh my
Paul
God.
Lecomte, his name is
Paul
on Twitter.
Lecomte, Evertonian.
Tom says, Circle of Trust, you know why Hammers hasn't been training. Could he be available Saturday? Could be available Saturday, yeah.
Nick's just sent me a picture, right? So Astro, patron, he's just sent me a picture of him literally sitting on the back of a plane. Look. So if anyone doesn't know, Astro, right? Astro's job is he works for the he's in the Air Force.
American.
And you know when you see those big planes where the doors open on the back of films and people jump out of them? That's his job, to open that door. And he's opened that door to some he's opened that door to people who do have a particular set of skills.
Yeah.
And do have the facilities. That's his job. And he's just sent me, he's always sending us stuff, but he's just sent us a picture of like the doors opening and like just sitting on the back of it, like obviously with a little tether.
Absolutely.
But have you ever jumped out the back of a plane?
Absolutely.
Have you got the facilities for that?
Mike Barrett says, been telling my sister about how good it is over here and how cool, how we're all the cool kids. I can finally say she now has the facilities for that. Hi and welcome to Linda. Welcome, Linda. Lovely to have you.
I've been looking for Linda.
Elton didn't sing that. Hugh and Clark.
That's how he would have sung it.
That's how he would have sung it. Gary Ward is there, the greeter.
Of course, he's the
patron
greeter.
The patron greeter says, welcome aboard, Linda.
Oh.
Bobby C says, other than Mark Hughes, which other Everton players could you just not take to, even if they were decent performers?
John Spencer.
Yeah. No, John Collins. Oh,
John Collins. You didn't like John Collins.
John Collins.
Fabian Duff.
Never really liked Kevin.
You know what though? That's a fair point though. He was one of the. He did have a very, very high, highly inflated ego, and he
Seemed a bit.
No, he
I
did.
liked him at first, but then
He was
over
expecting
time,
that penalty against
West Brom.
West Brom.
West Brom.
The Rocky.
Over time,
the
I
Rocky.
just lost interest in Kevin Morales, but Fabian Delph, I just can't take to. Mark Sobel
Astro
says
said he's done 3 jumps over water. I think when Astro would jump out, I think it'd be like Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze
in Point Break.
in Point Break. He'd be giving it all that. No, before we were talking about the Olympics, he'd be doing all that. And Karate Kid things and all that.
And then they just have to go.
No, when he jumps off and he lands in the water, and he's like, Johnny Utah. Ever seen the remake of that now?
No.
You ever seen Point Break, Ned?
At the Mel Gibson.
No.
I mean,
we just
literally told you he was in it.
Patrick Swayze. Just told.
Patrick Swayze, and
Surfing one.
it is a surfing one.
I might have it.
But they jump out planes.
Jump out planes.
and
The bank robbers.
Bank robbers with the
The
masks
dead
on.
presidents. No.
Mark Zobel's put the link in, the 2 links, so sign up to them. They're both free as well. Paul Roberts says, hello, fellas. Do you know, or does anyone else know? I have a digital season ticket. It's on my Android phone, but my phone hasn't got NFC, so it's not contactless.
How old's your phone? Will be. How old's your phone?
The ticket does have a QR or barcode on it. Will it get me in, or do I need a new phone?
I'd tell you what I'd go and do, right? If you can, I'd print it off for this game, and then you've got, what, 4 weeks for our next game? 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
On a Monday night, yeah.
So you've got 4 weeks till our next game. I'd get a paper ticket for this one, and I'd get all those. But I don't know. But how old's your phone?
If it's got a QR, like a barcode on it, though, you can still scan. Because it's the scan of the paper ticket. It should really, but I wouldn't risk it. Try and get a paper ticket.
Get a paper ticket for this one.
See if you can print it off.
And then have a good look at it. I don't know exactly, but I know NFC is obviously what you use if you want to pay contactless.
AJ says it is some songs. I knew you were gonna come to me, and here you are. But you better choose carefully, because I'm capable of anything and everything.
It's a female singer, but can't think of it. If only we had a musician in the room.
As if. 2, I get the same old dreams, same time every night. Fall to the ground and I wake up. So I get out of bed, put on my shoes, and in my head, the thoughts fly back to the breakup. These 4 walls are closing in. Look at the fix you put me in. No, I'm not on it.
My brain's not working. I'm too tired. I had to be at Goodison for 10 o'clock, and that's just not on for me.
So did I. Sail away. Oh, come sail away with me. That's it. I was thinking, is that end? Yeah, but I don't know. 4, we have a chance to turn the pages over. We can write what we want to write. This is the thing, isn't it? We got to make ends meet before we get much older. We are someone's daughter. The voice, isn't it? John Farnham.
You're the voice, try and understand it.
Make it clear. Elton turned up.
No, that's bossing. Film called Hot Rod. Amazing film. What a... You ever seen Hot Rod? It's got Dingo in it from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. What's his name? And pop star, Never Stop, and it's boss. It's about this lad.
It's Jake in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He's
Cook, the original Cook.
He's in basically set in this town in like
Adam, is it?
Yeah, it seems like it's the 80s, but it's not the 80s. But it's like a small town in America, and basically he thinks his dad was Dingo's in it. Lovejoy. He plays his father-in-law. And he thinks his dad was a stuntman because his mum told him, give him a pitch and said his dad, that was who he was, and it wasn't. And he's like this stuntman, and it's just so stupid. Like, Dingo's in it, Alicia, what was her name? The Australian actress?
Alicia Dixon?
No, Alicia, what's her name?
Oh, Alicia Keys.
No, not Alicia Keys.
No, of course.
Isla Fisher.
Isla
Fisher, she's in it. And apparently she told her...
Where does Alicia come
from? I don't know. I'm tired. She said to her agent afterwards that, she sacked her agent afterwards because she said it was terrible. But it's not, it's dead funny. It's just one of those films that never caught on. Watch it, Ned.
Married, of course, to Sacha Baron Cohen.
Cheers, married. Hot Rod, it's called.
5,
it's brilliant.
What on earth am I meant to do in this crowded place? There's only you. Who's gonna leave? Now I have to stay because you've taken my breath away. Is the world still spinning around? I don't feel like I'm coming down.
Is the world still spinning around?
I don't know.
Spinning around. No, I don't think
in this crowded place, there's only you. That's all
my brain's not working. It's in your eyes. I don't know.
Mine isn't working either.
My brain's not working.
Ruben de Souza says, hello lads, score prediction. Rico Henry, Waymo, and
are they? 4-8.
Armo is in the corner.
Oh, big Armo.
Says, I lads just want to say yesterday's show, especially the last half, was best show I've never. as regards trans. Missing out. No. What isn't bad at all. And yeah, good way looking at it.
Yeah, put the preview up now if it's ready to go.
Gaz says he can see Tony doing some damage. Cost money.
Big Ivan.
Do you reckon I get the golden boot?
Salah.
Most assists.
Grealish. Foden. Foden's son.
Signing of
It's so funny.
No, it'll be
Damari Gray.
I think. Be Lukaku.
Belter. Flop of the season.
Lukaku.
How can he be the sign of the season and the flop of the
That's
season?
the way it works. That's just the way it works.
Flop of the season, Sancho.
No. It might be.
He's a good player though, to be fair.
Man of the year.
Mathew Barry says, evening lads, hope you're all well. I've spent most of today trying to sort out my lad's season ticket. I've had another link to mine to send to me, but still nothing for his. Saturday's going to be carnage unless it's sorted out tonight and tomorrow. They were going out again today. Other links, like ongoing, Mathew, so
Ned,
I'm sure you'll get it.
Mike working?
Speak.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Adam says, really enjoyable when you two disagree, lads. It makes it more interesting. Not to say I want to see you throwing digs at each other. I reckon we will end up with Aaron's. Also, if you could, would you bin Unsworth? I would, but it wouldn't surprise me one little bit if he's put on the board soon. When did we disagree? Were we disagreeing yesterday?
Yeah, because you said dinosaurs weren't real.
Oh. I mean, it's the one thing I didn't say, but that's fine. Would you bin Unsworth?
I'd
Give him another year and let him produce
I don't
first-team plays.
I don't know.
I don't know what.
I don't know. I don't know what he did. What are you doing?
Scratching me in my face.
Ahmed says, also, it could be argued that despite the quality and profile of Hammers, getting him has stopped us last year, and this year getting a Bailey and a right back. And now the club are telling him he can leave, as it being a bit of a bad signing.
His mic was down, by the way. But it's back up now. So you did something, Ned.
See, I don't
Dodgy
think
cable.
it's been a bad signing, James Rodriguez. No. I think he was brilliant at times last year. We needed him, and it almost worked. It was negligence from the manager at the end of the season, and players letting the manager down as well. He both let each other down, which is why if we'd have gone into Europe, we'd have all gone successful season.
Ultimately, last summer, someone should have said right back is a huge priority. And we need to get one. And before we get anything else, we need to get a right back. Forget about your Allens, forget about your the Corres, forget about your James Rodriguez. We need to go and get a right back. And they didn't. So, can't blame that on the player as such. And I don't, not necessarily you are blaming the player, but that should have been the priority last summer. This summer before.
Okay. Gaz says, a fellow Blue and Work said he won't go to a game as long as Rafa is in charge. Just thought it was the single most pathetic statement I've ever heard. Each to their own.
To be fair, you've never sat in this room for
No, you'd have heard something from Ned.
Ned just, I mean, you want to watch AOB this week.
I'm not that negative though.
AOB this week is just, I mean, all I'm going to say is Paris. That's all I'm going to say.
French.
All I'm going to say, Paris.
Cal says if we ever have to stay up again on the last day, don't let Baz go. Tom Big Voldy says water chestnuts for me, absolutely rancid. Yeah. Paddy says Toffee TV cuppa, some chocolate biscuits, sometimes it's the small things that make you feel content. As for those worrying about our season before the first game, can you name one team ahead of us on points right now? Might change during the season, but before a ball is kicked, it's possible for
It'll be
any
changed tomorrow, won't it?
to do well. Well, at the moment,
It'll have changed tomorrow.
that's okay. But at this moment in time, it hasn't. Has it?
No.
So it is. It's no point worrying about something that hasn't happened, and you've got no control either. Right, I'll just race through to let people. Right, there we go. Ned, you weren't on about Geno's by any chance, were you?
Geno's is alright. I think it's called Oliver. It might be called Oliver.
Don't out people. Don't out places just for the hell of it.
Oh,
no.
Ginos!
It was called Oliver.
Okay. Steve Kelly says, all right, lads, hope you're both well. But you mentioned relegation before. Do you think we would have ended up in Sheffield Wednesday's position if we'd have gone
100%,
relegated? Or would we have
100%.
bounced back?
No, 100%.
Okay. Coventry was worse
Coventry
as
was
the
worse.
team. It's dreadful against Wimbledon. Majority of the team won the cup. Yeah. Matthew Barry says Martin Ziegler of the Times has just posted, UEFA will set out proposals next month to replace its financial fair play rules with a salary cap and a luxury tax by next year. Under the planned system, clubs in European competitions will be limited to spend a fixed amount of revenue, possibly 70% on
Someone watches
salaries.
Toffee TV.
Any clubs breaching the cap would have to pay a luxury tax,
That's what they do in the baseball.
under which the equivalent or more of any overspend would go into a pot to be redistributed.
That's what they do in the baseball, isn't
Okay.
it? What the Red Sox got done with, didn't they? The luxury tax, I think, this year or something like that. But isn't that what we've been saying for ages? It's that because literally, and people will go, well, what's the point of the luxury tax? And they can afford it. But you know what? Who cares? I'm not asked. Like we've said it loads this week. When Manchester City can go out and buy £1 million, £100 million player, and are looking at another £100 million player plus, and when Paris Saint-Germain have done the business they've done this summer, what difference does it make? What difference does FFP do? It's just stopping everybody else from trying to compete.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Okay, like quickly these.
Oh, Ginos.
Ped, don't be like that about Audi, says Matthew, and Baz 16 grand to replace an indicator stalking a Bugatti.
Listen,
I've got an Audi.
I really like I mean, Aldi drivers can be iffy, but I like Aldis. I think they're nice. I've got a German car. I probably wouldn't go too far from a German car. I wouldn't go. I'd get a German car if I was getting a standard car. But listen, there's something about a Lamborghini if someone offers you any car ever. I mean, you know what I mean?
A Lambo.
There's something about a Lamborghini, like a proper one. You know the one I'm talking about, don't you? From The Dark Knight. Do you know when he tries to jump the light and he goes, yo, you weren't trying to protect me? He goes, no, I was trying to jump the light. That Lambo.
Do you think I need to go to the hospital? You don't watch a lot of news, do you, Mr. Wayne?
Big T.
Sorry. I was going to say I'd ask for a Ford Focus EcoBoost 1.0 ST Line X.
Is yours only a 1.0?
But it's EcoBoost.
No, I know, but I'm not having a go at you. I mean, the colour is enough to put me off.
1 litre.
But but is it? It's fast, but it's not.
It's like having a 1.6.
Put it this way, it's fast. It's not can catch me fast on the motorway, but it's fast.
You speed. I just cruise at 60 miles per hour.
I mean, then you're basically letting everyone else down who wants to get home.
I enjoy driving
the
though.
things. Is it 60? Or is he on the motorway?
He's on the
70?
motorway.
Big T says here, what's the first part of the overlap? And I've got to say, Baz, well done for not turning around to that Arsenal fan and telling him to shut his hole. Oh my God, do Arsenal fans love the sound of their own voice? Didn't think he was ever going.
To be fair,
he was just chatting nonsense.
It is Ty.
It's Ty, and he
definitely does have.
He's got issues.
He's got issues.
That's not true.
Keith says, I would like my old 83-84 Ford Capri 2.8i again. Black, Ricardo seats in those days with the dogs.
Great season for the Capri.
Great season for the Capri. Trevor Stephen had a red Capri, which is a bit weird. Keith Powell says, Ned has just given you a hint. Did that go with your Ev? Make money during the week. Well, you need to work harder to make us some money so we can save money. That's the plan.
That's why we're working hard.
Yeah.
Keith
says, wasn't it the interview Neville and Kane did on the golf course, the Euro time? Yeah, but it'd been done before the season. And it got out what he'd said. It was leaked that he said, if they get 100 million for me, they should sell me.
Leaked on purpose.
Yeah. Adam says, if Coleman had tied this season, would you keep Kenny as a backup? Also, is Kenny a blue or a red? If he's a blue, I can see why he's not pushing for a move. I think he's a red.
I interviewed him once, and
he didn't have a clue, did he?
He didn't have a clue.
No.
I was like, what are your memories of Goodison as a kid? And he was like, the lights.
It's blue.
It was, yeah. I was like, you've never been to a footy match in your life.
Not an Everton fan.
He's been here since he was 14, 15, something like that, though, wasn't he?
He's been at Everton since he was about 8, but it doesn't mean anything.
Well, no, he was in the under-23 when he was 15, wasn't he? Was he?
Alex Kenner says, think what McCullough was saying got misconstrued. Using Pogba as an example was a boss show, to be fair. Hope the club hope the focus on East Ham the next part is less big sis. But yeah, it's more about the rest in this. Apart from the Love Island host. I didn't realise he'd been Love Island until I read it, and he is Love Island.
He is Love Island.
He's what you think of a Love Island contestant. That's
he is Love Island.
But he did kind of keep trying to take it back to like Man United for something, so he's probably a United fan. Big T also says, do you think it's a possibility Hammers might end up in the MLS?
No, can't see it.
They haven't got the money. I don't think they could pay that money unless it was like into Miami. Richard saw the Northern Lights in Finland. Loads, absolutely spectacular. Gary Ward see them from Alaska. Very cool.
Yeah.
Astro said Northern Lights are beyond boss. Saw them numerous trips to Northern Norway. Paul Roberts said, talking of Everest, you should check out the documentary about finding Mallory, one of the 2 climbers that went missing close to the top. They found one of them at the end of the dock still wearing a tweed jacket. They did find Mallory at the end of it.
The ones who originally went up?
Yeah.
The ones who they said weren't the first people to go up, and they were. Richard
Folk said, did Mark Sobel get to see the Blues in the US? I really hope so.
I don't think he did he?
I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he's got the facilities.
Adam says, I've paid for the car, but it hasn't arrived. I tried to call up today, but the lowest I got on the queue was 80th. You think I'm better off going the ground? I think you will be better off going the ground.
I think for a card, I think that's different, isn't it?
But I don't know what's
How long's that going to take?
50 minutes.
Okay, mate.
Derek says, it's nice to talk about something other than the Blues. The most inspiring nature thing I've ever done is visiting Ayers Rock in Australia.
Oh, it's not called Ayers Rock anymore.
No, give me the proper name.
Can't call it Ayers Rock. Baz.
Okay. Uluru.
There you go. Well, it's that's like a very racist thing, no? I'm just keeping the channel on.
Well, to be fair,
you can say formerly known as Ayers Rock.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just
Dexy, give me the real name and add Ayers Rock in brackets.
You'll get cancelled.
Okay. And watch the colour change from grey to bright red at the sunrises. I was also able to go to the top, truly amazing. And also, like Astro, I was a master air load master on the C-130 Hercules, affectionately known as Fat Albert in the RAF. Truly exhilarating, hanging out the back as you deliver much more needed support to whatever, you know, whoever.
Difference is, though, Astro never played for Schalke.
Astro
but he did live in Germany.
He did, but he didn't play for Schalke like Dexy. Astro said, saw St Elmo's fire on the windscreen flying over Central Africa at night. It happens when the atmosphere is charged and the electrical potential strong enough to cause a plasma discharge between an object and the air around it. Just little green lightning streaks that dance across the cockpit. It was beautiful, but I nearly crapped myself.
I thought it was Emilio Estevez.
I did. Gary Ward says, since you've been gone. Rainbow.
Since you've been
That's
gone.
in the things before. Baz's mic is out. Boss Baz mic. Well done. Yeah.
Thanks to Ned.
Well done.
Ned.
Well done for Ned.
Dexy says, oh, and yes, I've jumped, but not from a C-130, but only during training. I mean, who but an extreme idiot would jump out of an aircraft while the engines still work? Exactly. Dexy says, hi Astro, brother in arms, I'm retired now. Which unit were you with? I was in the 47th and 49th Squadron RAF, but
I'd be worried if you weren't.
A lot of times with you guys during Desert Shield and Desert Storm over Kuwait and Basra. I mean, Dexy's been full in like the Gulf War, hasn't he?
Dexy's gone more than the tip, hasn't he? To be honest.
Oh, Dexy's gone full. Dexy once said, no point push putting the tip in.
Tip of the spear, Dexy.
Yeah. I'd want a Tesla Model X truck with Lamborghini doors, says Ruben de Souza. I do like Tesla. Seen a Boss Tesla the other day.
When you heard Ruben de Souza, I just want to go, Ruben de Souza! Like that. But
I think Ruben de Souza sounds like the left-footed right winger we should go after.
I was going to say, can we sign him to play on the
He defo would be like that. Dead fast, jinking inside and whipping one. I could see it.
Boss name.
We can't get the work permit for him.
That's the problem. Work permit just hasn't played enough. But I think he would be someone who would be on our radar, I think.
Yeah.
Good turn.
I think he'd be the kind of player that we'd all want, and then our hopes would be dashed at the final moment when a Champions League team comes in for him.
Yeah. I'd watch him loads, have a look at him on White.
Oh, you on YouTube, he's amazing.
On YouTube, and dead quick, checks inside, goals, assists.
Oh, well.
On the way up, he'd be. And
jumps out of planes, climbs mountains.
And yeah, Everton, about to get him. Yeah. And
goes to Chester.
Kia Joraban as
Yeah.
his agent and takes him to a Champions League club.
Yeah. 9th member of Chelsea's bench.
Yeah. So, and he would, if you got him, turn up for training in a Tesla Model X truck with Lamborghini doors.
I'd expect nothing less.
It's classic De Souza.
Yeah.
It's
Full
classic De Souza.
Many people say never go full De Souza because only one De Souza can pull it off, and that's Ruben De Souza.
Maybe. He's the man.
That's what they say.
He's the man.
That's what they say.
He's the man. Brands, if you're watching, try and get Ruben De Souza.
The only reason he can't get a work permit is because he goes around the globe so many times helping small children out in villages that he's never in one place long enough
to get a work
and that's
permit.
why he can't get a work permit. His residence. He's a citizen of the world. He likes helping the world, and that's a problem.
I still want him on our right wing.
That's fair enough.
Hakon says he grew up in northern Norway under the Aurora Borealis. We weren't allowed to run out waving a white plastic bag because the Aurora would catch us. Actually a bit frightening as a child. It is mad when you see the things.
Is that genuine or is that like a bedtime story?
It's probably a
because it is electric.
Urban myth.
It's electric though, isn't it?
Yeah. But a white plastic bag because it catches.
Because it's the
I mean, Hakon might say no, that is real.
It's the particles, isn't it? Of it's the electrical
like
particles mixing with the atmosphere.
It's amazing.
It is. It's beautiful. The other thing I'd like to see, it's not actually a natural phenomenon, but it's the peace light in Iceland. It's John Lennon. Peace light goes straight up in the air. And as I was born it was my birthday, the day he was shot, my second birthday, I would like to go there for my birthday to commemorate both things.
Interesting.
And I dedicate it to world peace. And know who's coming with me? De Souza.
Well, I mean, Derek Houlihan said, isn't De Souza a usual suspect? No, it's Kaiser Souza.
No, that was Kaiser Souza.
Kaiser Souza, yeah.
The limp.
But
what a film.
Ruben De Souza.
You ever seen that film, Ned?
What?
He won't
Usual Suspects. No. You are just the worst human being.
He was ever
you are the worst human. What's really disappointing about you, right? You have all these amazing things that you could go and watch, like at your fingertips, that you're new to. That for us, we're like, I'd love to see that again. Oh, I'd love to see that with
watching it with fresh eyes.
And you've got
and
the
you
opportunity.
Choose not to.
And
you choose to look at a lizard.
To walk in shorts that, quite frankly, will give Dick Hell's missus a little bit of a tingle. That's all I'm saying.
That's almost uploaded.
Okay.
That's what Dick Hell's missus said.
Hey!
Right. We are going. These are going to play football.
Not together, because I don't play foot against 14-year-old girls.
Oh, no.
See you tomorrow.
I mean, that's just truth, isn't it, Ned?
Bye.
Bye. Hey, you.